Hi, this is Ron Janish, and this video is about the Babson dual signal technique. And those of you that have taken the Babson course from me know exactly what the dual signals are. They're not very difficult to understand, and they're very easy to apply. The important rule in this here is that it's customary to take the second signal, not the first one. And there's an important reason for that. And that is that the second one will give you not only a very tight entry, and a higher probability, but it'll also give you a much smaller target. Let's take an example here. This is a Canadian dollar chart, and so in this one here, for example, when you were down here, you had your first Babson signal. You were able to see very clearly that you had a Babson signal here. And so after you have that, you go and look for the second one. And here you find the second one in this area here. And then your initial target is based on the second signal always. And as you can see, prices quickly go up and close past here. Now this is a daily chart. And so they close past there on your daily signal, and it's very common for them to come back down below the line that you draw where you would expect prices to go past. If prices do not go past that line and reverse at it, you at the very least want to get out, and B, consider taking a position in the reverse direction, because it is typically a very powerful move that ensues. Okay, so what happens is prices typically go up past it, and then what you're using is you're using your initial signal, your first signal, for your second target. Right? Okay, let's see some other examples of this. Let's move to something like, let's say heating oil. Okay, so in heating oil, when we were down here, we had our first signal. Didn't take it. Waited until we had a second signal, and so we had an entry when prices came through here. And sure enough, they typically come down a little bit past the initial minimum line. Let's call this the minimum line, because if prices don't make it past the minimum line, watch out. It goes the other way, right? And so what happens is prices go up, 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 up very nicely in the heating oil. And then there's another primary signal, the initial signal over here. And then the second signal comes over here, and that gets, boom, stopped out. And so you have a small loss up here and a substantial gain going in this direction. Right? You don't always have winning trades. This is based on probability. Let's take a look at it in December meal. Okay, so what happens is you're down here and you have the first signal, right? And then it goes to the first signal minimum target line, and it blasts through it, which is normal. And so you have a nice blast through the minimum target line, and then you have a reverse, and it probably went underneath it by a hair on an intraday basis. That's very, very normal. And then onward it goes. Okay, so watch for that. Watch for the initial signal. You don't act on it. You wait for the second signal, which gives you a very, very tight entry, a very small stop loss area, and then you have a very small minimum target. Once it goes through the minimum target, there's a high probability it's going to reach the further target area or give a reverse signal at a later point in time, much like it did in the, here we go, see, gave a reverse signal over here in the heating oil, which was a failure, and that happens at times. Okay, so here's the example in this, and then you had the example in the Canadian dollar. And we're always looking for prices to give the first signal, which we take note of, then wait for the second signal and utilize that. And if you have any questions at all, there's only a limited number of people that take this course because of how we set it up. And I will personally answer any questions you have. Just call me on the phone. I'll give you a quick reminder of exactly what we're looking for to help you along anytime. Okay, so give me a call if you got any questions. Talk to you later. Thank you.